Welcome everyone to race 13 of the Firestone Champ Car Challenger Series season eve of the Monaco Grand Prix. But the Challenger Series have other focuses in mind. And that includes being the ones that get promoted into the World Series next year. The talk of promotion and relegation run through the Challenger Series. Easiest way to make your way up is to do well over these last 7 races. It's going to be very hectic as the schedule includes doubleheaders now next week at Iowa, which was scheduled, and now doubleheader at Kansas as well due to the cancellation of the race in Las Vegas due to the hurricane that went through the area just a couple weeks ago. It is going to be a very frantic race here for everyone involved, because this is going to be a very interesting racetrack to be a part of here. Riikka Venäläinen, Karina Sakurauchi, they're on the front row of this race. Venäläinen on pole position, having a race win at a track that is known for being fast and small at Phoenix. Sakurauchi, a race winner at Watkins Glen. Narita Rossi and Isabel Espinosa, they make up row 2 in this field, and that's where the promotion conversations begin in this field. Both of them in the thick of that fight. Isabel Espinosa a little bit further forward. Natalia Kurachenko and Yuya Ishii sit in row number 3. Then it's Dale Blanco and Sora Hoshino in row 4. Bianca Lucero and Roberto Crown Jr. sit in row number 5. And the rumors beginning to spin of several drivers moving to the Cup Series in 2025. Roberto Crown Jr., a former Cup Series driver, beginning to think about returning to the Cup Series before seats run out. Sonia Walker, the defending Cup Series champion from 2021, we know will be heading back to the Cup Series to race Striker Motorsports next year. Keisha Fox also heading to the Cup Series to continue to race with Arrowhead Racing next year. So Roberto Crown Jr. trying to make sense of where his future holds in 2025. A good result here could really complicate things for him. Maria D'Amata and Kira Moore in row 6. So it's Crown and D'Amata for Atomic Autosport, sitting pretty well close to the front of the field at this point. Felicia Zappa and Maria Chavez in row 7. Emmy Polsatrix and Mia Vitsut in row number 8. Polsatrix, winner last time out at Gateway. A fantastic result for that team for Fortune Racing before they moved to Dodge in 2025. Katrina Ochoa and Jake Carter sit in row number 9. Rachel Covenami, your points leader going into this race, starts in row 10, 19th, alongside Rex Riley. Karina Amara and Valerie Fang in row 11. Arashi Seto and Keisha Fox sit in row 12. Row 13 is Sonia Walker and Luisa Floros. Katerina Malenkovic and Jace Clark in row 18. Seth Smith Jr. and Isabel Lantra make up row 15. Asada Quito and Aspasia Megalo sit in row 16, and on her own at the back of the field after suffering a penalty for a blown engine in Gateway, Yumini Mizuno will start 33rd and last in this field. So 33 cars around a 0.68 mile short oval that has been upgraded with all the bells and whistles. Safer barriers on both the inside wall and the outside wall. Repaved surface, looking fresh, looking ready for racing here. Upgraded amenities for both the packed grandstands on the outside and for those camping on the inside. Denver's become a hot spot for racing. We saw the World Series race at Denver Motorsports Park earlier in the year. That was in Aurora, just east of Metro Denver. Now we're southwest of Metro Denver, just south of Lakewood here in Colorado, in a place called Indian Hills. Nestled in the mountains. We get to go racing once again, and we're glad you're with us here for this race. It's almost time for the party to begin, so let's send it trackside for those most famous words in all of motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines.
33 of the fastest cars on the planet getting ready to do action once again as they all roll off. And that is trouble already. That is the 30 of Milinkovic in trouble. Milinkovic in a lot of trouble here. Staying off the racing surface at this point, so something wrong with a 30, not how you want this race to start. You will go laps down quickly around this short oval. Pace truck pulls off pit lane as they roll through turn 4. Racing in Colorado, in Indian Hills. It's Venäläinen and Sakurachi bringing us to green. We're racing in Indian Hills. Venäläinen gets the early jump. But here comes Takarasi. First lap already a 16.7 for the former Indianapolis 500 champion. Here comes the 40 of Kurachenko as well. They are ripping around these tracks now, as building up speed. Here comes the 4 of Amara, 3 wide, trying to put these Agia teammates 3 wide. And she will. It puts the 26 of Espinosa on the back foot. But everyone makes it through. Everyone trying to get cycled through quickly. Red tires, a lot of grip early, but they'll fall off as this race goes along. And they're going to fall off rapidly as this race goes along. Espinosa trying to stop the bleeding. It won't happen there. Being forced 3 wide once again. That was by Quito and by Rachel Koivanami. Inside lane, those where you want to be. And Espinosa just not quite up to speed here. Just struggling at the moment. Seems like she's finally found her pace. But she is down all the way to 20th place and still dropping. 3 wide still further back. That is on the fortune cards. That is 72 of Riley. 3 wide. Trouble. Car upside down. Huge crash. More involved. Mizuno involved, and that's Blanco that was upside down. Milinkovic gets saved from going even more laps down. That is Lucero that is leading this race. Trouble for Mizuno, whose race is over. Kira Moore got a huge piece of that as well. Would not be surprised if her race is over too. Del Blanco, though, I believe was the one that went upside down. And indeed he did. And this is 3 wide. This is off of Takarasi. This is some of the close quarters racing we were expecting. Going frame by frame. Yeah, Takarasi just trying to avoid tagging in the safer barrier there. And just a little offset there off the nose of Del Blanco, who likewise gets turned off the nose of Ochoa, who just has a little bit, the smallest margin of overlap here. Nowhere, nothing Blanco can do at this point. Moore's already running up the racetrack, trying to get away from it. Almost huge troubles there for the 54 of Valerie Fang as well. Luckily, that's the 44 of Ishii that gets away with it. Not so fortunate for Mizuno. So a rough ride with a car flipped going up and over, but into the safer barrier. And ultimately, Blanco and Mizuno both out of this race well and truly. See if we can get an update on the 67 of Kira Moore, who I believe is also potentially out of this race. And indeed that is the case. So all 3 of the cars involved in this race are out. And that means we are resetting the field here single file to get this race restarted. So that puts Felicia Zappa at the front of the field. Several different lap leaders, Takarasi, Michero, Kurachenko, Sakurauchi, and now Felicia Zappa. Teammates 1 and 2, Seth Smith Jr. there in second. Isabel Lantra sitting in third. Under caution as they continue to clean up and take care of the safer barrier there in turn 1. Everyone trying to get the jump early while they could. And we saw the dividends of that and the consequences of that. Isabel Lantra, 3rd place. Karina Sakurauchi in 4th. Sonia Walker, Bianca Lucero, Natalia Kurachenko, Rika Venelainen, the pole sitter, in 8th. Maria D'Amata and Amity Polsatrix rounding out the top 10 as things sit right now. Following behind the Ford Raptor pace truck as everything continues to move along. We're on lap 11 of 330. Looks like a lot of laps similar to that of Night City and Arasaka Arena, but the laps go by quickly. Car dropping down below the white line. Seth Smith Jr. having issues now. Something wrong with the 5 car. Which is not what you want to see while being in a position like this. Having the ability to play rear gunner, something wrong in that 5 car means that that car's going to have to come down pit lane, similar to that of Milinkovic. Now we saw early on, Milinkovic went 1 lap down. Luckily, only 1 lap down. That could have been a lot worse for Milinkovic. Seth Smith hoping that that's the best case scenario. He'll close the rest of the field up. Smith will come down pit lane. It'll be Felicia Zappa, Isabel Lantra, and Karina Sakurauchi back underway, racing here in Colorado. Everyone getting up to speed quickly. Here comes Lantra. 45 to the point. A lap down goes Seth Smith Jr. just like that. Sonia Walker just went up to 3rd place, got around Sakurauchi, who's now about to be steamrolled here if she's not careful. That's Lucero in the 88. That is Venelainen in the 87. Both the Obsidian cars looking really good. And look at Amity Polsatrix. Polsatrix on a roll. Venelainen gets around her teammate in Lucero. And Polsatrix will try to follow here. Further up the field, that's Walker being left for dust right now by Lantra. Here comes Felicia Zappa once again, trying to get that position back. Familiar fighting between the 50 and the 87. Zappa and Venelainen, both in the mix. Here we go. Important to note, both Lantra and Zappa stayed out under that first caution of this race. Everyone else came in. Venelainen up to 2nd. Polsatrix in 4th, looking for a 3rd right now. And tell you what, Polsatrix has really come into her own as an oval driver here. Obviously, winning at Gateway, looked phenomenal at Night City. Loves these shorter ovals. Has just come right into form. Really been a shining spot for the Fortune Racing camp here. As you see, Felicia Zappa being dispatched by both Walker and by Lucero. That leaves Sora Hoshino, the 09, in the mix as well. Then you have Asada Kito. Sakurauchi continues to be pinned on the outside lane, now being dispatched by Karina Amara for Faceporia Racing Team. Nara Takarasi sitting, now being passed by Rex Riley, the 2nd Fortune Racing car. 61 of Koya Vanami also in trouble right now, falling backwards, being passed by Jace Clark. Seems like the inside lane's where you want to be. It's just a matter of finding the grip to stay there. Some have it, some don't. Looks like the Black Rose Racing cars, the Atomic Autosport cars, the 8, the 9, and the 10, seems like they all have it. Because that's the 8 of, that's all 3 of them actually. It's the 8, the 10, and the 9. They're all on the bottom lane, and they're all going. Big time stuff there. Seems like they're struggling though now, as the tires begin to wear just a little bit. The red wall tires, you'll see them in Monaco tomorrow as well. More grip initially, but they fall off rapidly, especially at a track like this where you're using so much lateral grip on these tires. Really leaning on those right side tires too. And you're seeing that Roberto Crown Jr. took fresh tires. Some just took fuel. Crown took tires. And it's beginning to become apparent as to where that car is at. Up front, Venalainen has gotten to the front of the field. Gotten around Lantra. Here comes Hoshino. The 09 also trying to charge forward here. Got around the 71 of Pulsatrix. Sakurachi stabilized out in the top 5. Teammates there for Verizon Team Impulse. Sitting 5th and 6th. Luisa Floros in 7. Here comes Keisha Fox in the top 10 in 8th. Battling for 7th as the teammates battle in front. Make that Keisha Fox now 7th place as the Team Impulse cars swap positions without losing anything else. So it's now Sakurachi in the 6th spot and Kito in 5th. And here comes Keisha Fox. Whoa, a little bit of contact there between Fox and Amara. But they got away with it. And Fox still gains a spot on the 12th. Big time gains there for Keisha Fox. Kept her foot in it, despite looking at the inside wall at one point. Jace Clark really pushing those Firestone tires. Got right to the gearbox of Keisha Fox and now puts Keisha Fox on the back foot as they all try to get around Asada Kito for that 5th spot. There's Seth Smith Jr. now in the 30th spot, 1 lap down, about to go 2 down. Here's Venalainen, there's Hoshino, gotten around Lantra as well. And there's Pulsatrix looking for 3rd. Here comes Clark in 5th now, but here comes, there's the 88, who was so good in Gateway as well. Looking to be good here too. That is Lucero up to 5th. Keisha Fox now in 6th. They are rapidly moving here. Sakurachi still in the top 10 ahead of Fleece Zappa as Zappa battles with Rex Riley. But Benami looking to get into the top 10 as well. Started this race 19th. As the points leader, the pressure is on her to continue to be consistent. 3 wide, not what you want to see. That is Floros in the 75. Putting the 50 in the middle 3. Biggest loser though was Sakurachi, the 12 car. Dropped 2 spots. And they are rapid here. This is the average lap speed right now is 160.8 miles an hour. They are moving. Another 3 wide situation. That is that's Carter, the other Crystal Cove Racing car, his teammate out of this race. But he's going to grab 2 spots in one go. Gets around both Zappa and Sakurachi. And goes after Venalainen, not Venalainen, Koivanami and Floros. So Carter charging forward now. Beginning to see the cars that took tires on that pit stop and those that did not. Milinkovic a lap down after having that issue on the formation lap. But in the middle of the field, first car off the lead lap. Bundle of 5 cars in the back of the field here. That's where you find Yuya Ishii, Valerie Fang. Trouble. Car with an engine failure. That is Kurachenko. Natalia Kurachenko will roll down pit lane in a puff of smoke. Pulsatrix to the front of the field. with Hoshino in tow. And Hoshino trying to drive to the underneath of Pulsatrix here with lap traffic coming up rapidly. Hoshino to the front of the field again. A lot of different lead changes so far, and we're going to see even more of them. Here comes Venäläinen back with a second wind. Venäläinen in third, Lantra in fourth. We talk about laps that'll fly by quickly. We're already on lap 46 at a 3:30. We're running up just about four laps a minute. Confirming that it is an engine failure for Kurachenko. 4 cars now out. Kurachenko, the first reliability race retirement. After the 3 cars of Moore, Blanco, and Mizuno out on lap 11 due to a multi-car crash. Seth Smith Jr. about to go 2 laps down, is now officially 2 laps down. And here comes Chase Clark. Sorry, Seth Smith Jr. still 1 lap down. He has been staying on the lead lap, or staying only 1 lap down here for a little bit. Chase Clark. Another one of the drivers moving back to the Cup Series in 2025. Would love to have another Champ Car win to go along with his win in Brno back in 2020. But it will not be easy to hold on to the race lead. Here comes the 09 Hoshino once again. Team Sakura need a little bit of luck. They've been very barren in their chances so far this season. Here comes Hoshino, not only to get around for the race lead once again, but to put Seth Smith Jr. potentially a 2nd lap down. And that's exactly what happens. And Venäläinen's going to be pinned behind the 5 thanks to 71. Pulsatrix up to 3rd. Venäläinen now looking in 4th. 4th place for Venäläinen. 5th place is out of Quito. Rex Riley up to 6th. Around Keisha Fox. Carter up in the 8th. Floros 9th. And Amara in the top 10. Here comes one of the Agia cars, Katrina Ochoa. And a car in pit lane. That was the 45 of Lantra in pit lane. After leading 14 laps in this race, Lantra's in. Zoom out here, look at one of the wider shots. You just kind of grab a sense of how fast these cars really are moving here at Colorado. Packed crowd here in Colorado Motor Speedway, I should say. Scenic out here in Colorado. Obviously loved it out here in Denver and Aurora on the other side of the city. Love it even more out here in the mountains. Mara fighting to try to get into the top 10 here. Drop down to 12th there, getting passed by the points leader, Koivunieemi. You just get a giant sense of the speed that they're running at this point. It is daunting, the speed that they're running. Rex Riley getting ahead of the lap car of Seth Smith Jr. That is 4th place now for Riley. Isabel Lantra pit, came back out, sensed a vibration in one of her tires, came down for fresh tires. 2 laps down now, so you're guaranteed at least a 2-lap drop. Here comes Pulsatrix looking to the inside of the 9 of Clark and clears him out of 4. And again, just rapid seeing the speeds that they're running here. You don't really quite get that sense of speed in the close-up cameras here. It just all looks like a blur. Here you actually do get a sense of that speed. Clark being passed by Venäläinen. And here comes Bolstrix looking for the race lead. And Bolstrix is going to clear out of 2. Down the back straightaway. We want to talk about a lot of racing going on right now. It is constant here in Colorado. 5th place currently being held stern, but it's 3 wide behind the 5th place car. Riley got passed by 2 cars at once, but it was Lucero, the biggest winner, up to 6th. And you see the pace car just sitting at the ready. Anything can change at an instant there for that Ford Raptor pace truck to be needed. Down the front straightaway, this is Ishii, 13th place, battling for 12th with the 62 of Keisha Fox. Carter looking for 10th, trying to get around Sonia Walker to get it. And trouble, engine blown, Seth Smith Jr., and he is in trouble, trying to cross in front of cars. Huge trouble here. He gets the pit lane somehow, some way, checks up the entire field, trying to get out of the way, and they somehow keep it safe. That was sketchy. And that would be an explanation as to why Seth Smith had that issue earlier. If he was nursing an ailing car, then that car was just ultimately bound to fail, and that's exactly what happened. Everyone got around it perfectly, though. Despite the bottleneck that we saw, everyone survived that. But now we have another failure in this race. And we will know soon if it was an engine-related failure like that of Kurachenko or not. Middle 3 wide. That is Arashi Seto, who backed out of it. Wisely backed out of it. You know, rocking a hard place there between Isabel Espinosa and Sonia Walker. A lot of veteran experience there. Arashi Seto was not part of that veteran experience. They got a dose of it. Ishii, 16th. And dropping. There's Walker getting up a spot once more. And it is insane, just the speeds that they're still carrying here. They've dropped a few mile an hour. Race leaders went from about 160 to about 155 mile an hour. So closer to 153 miles an hour in this pack here, where there's the most traffic. Jake Carter in 9th, and it's a gap before you really get to the rest of the front runners here. Front of the field, Luisa Floros has gotten around Amity Polsatrix. And it is another engine failure this time, and it's another Chevrolet too. Seth Smith Jr. joining Kurachenko out of this race, and Milinkovic having that issue on the opening lap as well. Definitely both some question marks for the other Chevrolet cars in this field, including that 71 of Polsatrix. You still have the 71, the 72. Obviously the 30 of Milinkovic still running, although a lap down at this point. And the 50 of Felicia Zappa, all Chevrolet still. Felicia Zappa's dropped back, but that's due to not taking tires or not pitting at all on that caution on lap 11. You're beginning to see the fruits of what fresh tires can actually do for you here, as you see Venalainen get around Zappa. Those two battled hard at Phoenix earlier this year. just dispatched. And once they get into the right front of the field, it is Venäläinen. And again, breakneck pace going on right now. We've been racing for 25 minutes thereabouts, and we're already almost to lap 100. Here comes Pulsatrix. Right back to the front. Car in pit lane, I believe that was Zappa. I have to double check here. It is Zappa coming up pit lane. So that's both Lantra and Zappa that had held up the longest before making a pit stop. So realistically, about 85 laps for a pit stop is the pit window, for those that are wondering at home. Unlike in the World Series, the Challenger Series has continued its streak of having a different winner every race. Wyatt Jones, winner last time out of Valkenburg, becoming the next two-time winner since Thomas Rogers won 2 in a row to start off the season. We've had 12 different winners so far this season. Obviously, Bolstrix last time out, winner at Gateway in the shadow of the St. Louis Arch. Chase Clark coming down pit lane as well. So Clark coming down pit lane means the pit stops for the first time under green are upon us. And that was Clark, who did not take tires on his pit stop, so he had hung in there pretty well. And here comes Hoshino in as well. More cars in as well, so keep an eye on the undercut. It doesn't seem like a whole lot right now, but 8 miles an hour can be an absolute world of a difference on the overlap. Oh, trouble! Riley, she overshot and hit the wall. Oh no. Rex Riley stuck in the attenuator. They're gonna let the field continue to roll here. They don't want cars stranded on fuel, so they're not gonna throw a caution here. And there's the yellow. Yeah. They had no choice with that car still stranded on the pit, still in the pit attenuator too. There was no choice there for Rex Riley, and you see they're going to have to get that car back. They had no choice. There was no choice in whatsoever. That's another issue. That's Aspasia Megalos overshooting it. Goodness gracious, that's 2 cars that overshot pit entry and have paid for it. Goodness gracious. A lot of cars coming out here, and we're going to have a very lopsided field that we're going to be looking at here. It's going to be very, very lopsided. Our timing and scoring shows that it's going to be Maria Chavez, the only car on the lead lap. That's where timing and scoring is showing right now. We'll see if it changes. There's Valerie Fang, who would have been the second car on the lead lap. We'll see if that's still the case, or if Fang went a lap down on pit lane. Hoshino coming back down pit lane, stuck, I believe, 2 laps down. Yeah, 2 laps down at this point. There's going to be cars that are end up on, so Venäläinen would end up on the lead lap here by being behind the pace car and ahead of Chavez. But the legitimate leader of this race is right now Maria Chavez, who stayed up the longest, anticipating the caution to come out, with Rex Riley stuck in the pit wall. So Rex Riley out of this race. Megalos, who also ended up in the attenuator, not out of this race. But actually, no, excuse me. Megalos is out of this race. My apologies. 66 is out, 72 is out. So is the 52. Arashi Seto is also out. But not due to any particular accident damage. It was a clutch failure for Arashi Seto. So we have got an upside down, topsy-turvy race now with Chavez the race leader, but in the middle of this field. There are 12 cars on lead lap that are ahead of Chavez, and Chavez could chase them down and try to lap them again. Valerie Fang, Rika Venalainen, Luisa Floros. I'm sorry, Valerie Fang is in the very tail end of this line. Rika Venalainen, Luisa Floros, Isabella Espinosa, Andy Bolsatrix, Karina Amara, Katrina Ochoa, Yuya Ishii, Maria Damata, Sonia Walker, Nara Takarasi, and Bianca Lucero. Now those on the lead lap by proxy. And it will be Venalainen that controls the restart here. So this is going to get interesting. Now on lap 100 of 330. After 2 cautions in this race. All eyes now on the 29 of Chavez. See what the 29 can do. It is Chavez and Fang safely first and second. Chavez now in the catbird seat looking for a race win. It'd be her first, and she's in a position that you cannot get much better than this. And you see that she's not pushing very hard right now either. Let everyone else push, let everyone else freak out, and that's what they're doing. And they are pushing like mad. Everyone is on fresh tires, having come down pit lane. But right now it is really a battle for podium. It's battle for third. And you sort of just look at where everyone's at right now. Chavez not even really pushing the envelope, and Valerie Fang's not either. There's just no point in doing so right now. You know you've got the lap ahead, you've got the lap advantage on the rest of the field. Sit and let things happen. We've had 2 cautions in the first 100 laps. If they push the envelope and crash, you don't want to be in. Keep in mind that Chavez was saving fuel the entire opening run. That's how she ended up with that overcut situation. Same with Valerie Fang. They both were saving fuel. And it worked out. So reasonably, you could assume they're doing the same thing right now too. Maria Chavez not pressing the issue. will log a lot of laps led here in this stint if things continue to go as they have so far. Chavez slowly working forward now, putting more cars an additional lap down. A lot of the cars being passed right now were already a lap down. Most laps led so far belongs to Pulsatrix, who led 22. Chavez will take that away pretty quickly with no available answer from anybody. Lap 120 is what we're working on right now if you're the race leader. Look at this chaos right now. That's Felicia Zappa, but almost got sent to the inside wall. Chavez being to really chop her way forward here. That's Ochoa. She's about to put a lap down her teammate. And Venalainen. I think Chavez beginning to see the benefit of trying to keep the field a lap down if she can. That's Pulsatrix. That's Lucero. This is getting very interesting. Just watching this calamity, it's almost awe-inspiring. It's why I haven't really been able to say a whole lot. You're just kind of sitting here watching, because we're watching from the broadcast booth here up here on the front straightaway, and it is a wild time. Chavez putting her neck out on it right now, just trying to put these cars a lap down. It's a very bold call, trying to mix it up here instead of just kind of playing it safe. I can see why Chavez is doing it, but it's just a very interesting call there for Chavez to begin pushing like this. Just watching from these upper above cams here, Chavez once again making inroads, putting Lucero a lap down. Here comes Chase Clark too. Now, in complete fairness, here's Valerie Fang just behind Lucero right now, that black and blue NCT data car. Go. Battle for the race lead. Chavez, having been passed by Valerie Fang, has now taken that back. eye on the 29 of Chavez here as she continues to try to drive her way through the field. Chavez losing the race lead here. Valerie Fang now in position. Fang in the race lead, trying to pick up where Chavez left off, but you've seen that the battle is not going anywhere. Getting around Takarasi here as the laps continue to rage on here in Colorado. Venalainen, meanwhile, got unlapped and kind of just went forward. A lot of these cars that are trying to stay on the lead lap, battling for third at the moment. Only the lines being led by Mia Vitsut, who's not on the lead lap, still pinned a lap down. Actually, making sure here. Yeah, Vitsut is firmly a lap down. Espinosa right now would be in that third spot, that 26 car. And caution's out. And caution's out with Sora Hoshino with a lot of damage. And that's going to bail out a few cars. Not everybody. Unfortunately, not everybody. But it will bail out a few. So Sora Hoshino in huge trouble here. What has happened to the 09? This is in front of Roberto Crown Jr. No, this is what happened. It's the same thing that happened to Rex Riley. Just completely missed pit entry at those high speeds. And that's why. So it does bail out Isabel Espinoza, Luisa Flores, Maria Damata, and Amity Polsatrix. They're now with Valerie Fang and Maria Chavez. But that does not quite make things perfect, to say the least. Rika Venalainen, the first car a lap down, with Karina Amara also out. Sorry, not out, but also a lap down. Bianca Lucero. Looks like Rika Venalainen is actually going to end up lining up near the front of the field, and so is Polstrix. So Polstrix did not get so lucky. So once again, lap traffic will lead the field to green here on this restart. It will be Valerie Fang that leads the way, though. And there's Valerie Fang right there. Gonna try to go ahead and put the 87 and the 71 a lap down. Hot off our third caution of the race. And backwards will go Venalainen. Valerie Fang wasting no time. Trying to get out front and center. And that's exactly how she does it. So Valerie Fang for Phoenix Motorsports now front and center, but Polstrix will not let that live. 71 cut right and down in front of the nose of the 22 of Asada Quito. Car with some puff of smoke going on. Not sure who that was in pit lane. I guess we'll find out here momentarily. That was a huge concern. Wait for an update here, and it would have been Isabel Lantra with a clutch. So 2 clutch failures. One for a Honda for the 09, and one for the 45. Seeing it's not so easy at the front of the field for Valerie Fang, who is dealing now with more aggressive drivers at the front. We're down to 23 cars running. We've only had 2 accidents. We've only had 1 actual major accident caution. We had single car incidents and reliability failures that have really spun their head around. Valerie Fang on an island right now. And then it's a little further back. You start seeing this little bit of medley here. This Maria D'Amata right now in second. Isabel Espinosa up to third. And it's Floros, and then you have to look a little further back to find the 29 of Chavez. Chavez led 60 laps in that last stanza. Valerie Fang working on leading lap 30. So they are still going at it here. Chavez is just kind of struggling at this point to try to get things going again. Almost to lap 200 here, and it's just been lightning after lightning per lap. This is going to be a huge points changer, though, with Rich Koivuniemen. You saw Koivuniemen at the very back of the field here. That's 22nd place for Koivuniemen, pinned 2 laps down. Only 4 cars 2 laps down: Carter, Crown, Zappa, and Koivuniemen. So Koivuniemen's ceiling in this race so far has been significantly capped. Feng, your race leader, losing a little bit more track position here. These are not actually for position fights going on right now. This is Lucero trying to get a lap back. Asada Quito trying to get a lap back, trying to go back from being 2 laps down to 1 lap down. And this is sort of where Koivu is sort of rooting for Valerie Feng, and it's not quite going so well. Koivu needed Feng to have more cars put up 2 laps down here, so Koivu had a chance to fight, because she's stuck at the back of the field at the moment. Vika Vanalainen trying to get a lap back, and will do so. Vitsura and Ishii next in line as well. There's Milinkovic, 23rd, 3 laps down. Watching right now, Milinkovic just kind of carve up through the field, one of the faster cars on the racetrack at the moment. That's caught up to Valerie Feng, the race leader, to try to get one of those 3 laps back. It will end up putting Milinkovic 2 laps down if she can do it. Feng trying to get back ahead of Lucero. Lucero in that 7th spot. Make that 8th spot, excuse me. And going back to lap down. So a lot of give and take at this point. And Koivu stuck in the 21st spot, or 22nd spot. Just not really able to go anywhere as things sit right now. Not happy with that 61 car in the slightest. Maria Chavez down in the 5th spot at the moment. Just looking for a good day. Gonna find it. Valerie Feng once again under attack from Lucero. Going into this race, it was a 28-point gap between Felicia Zappa and Rachel Koivu. Felicia Zappa right now sitting in 21st. So not a huge gain there. Aspasia Megalos would be the next car to look at here. Aspasia Megalos is out. Then you look at Maria Chavez in the 29, who is in 5th. That's the first major leap right now. And Chavez would leap pretty consistently, pretty considerably. Chavez right now sitting at 5th place. Sorry, Maria Chavez sitting in 2nd right now. I believe cars coming down pit lane is what we're seeing. Because there's Maria Chavez right now. And that is a car in pit lane. That is Vitsu. So Chavez has now surged forward to 2nd place, which would be a problem if you are Rachel Koivu. Rachel Koivu would lose the championship lead to Chavez. Would not be in a threatened position by Takarasi. Takarasi and Chavez were level on points at 258 going into this race. Takarasi right now sitting in 14th, but not really able to make any considerable headway. And then obviously Jake Carter right now sitting, as we mentioned, one of the cars that were 2 laps down. Carter in 20th, along with Zappa in 21st and Koivuniemen in 22nd. Definitely not a great time for the 55 crew. So really, 29 is going to gain the most here out of this. The 57 will gain a little bit. The 26 will be a big sort of circle around and follow up on this one with Espinoza is 7th in points. Milinkovic won't really gain, sitting right now in 23rd. Kira Moore out of this race. Isabel Lantra out of this race. Karina Amara 11th in points going into this race. Right now, Amara is sitting 12th, so not as consistent threat here. So right now the conversation in the points as far as leading the national championship, right now you're looking at the new leader of the national championship as things go along. The gap going in was 36 points between the 29 and the 61. Unless Koivuniemen can get back into the top 20, which is an arduous road to go down, Maria Chavez will end up with the championship lead here. Chavez trying to find a way around Amara, who was a lap down. Now we're looking at 100 laps to go. Valerie Fang continues to lead the way, has now led 76 laps in this race, make that 77. Ishii trying to get a lap back. And get back on the lead lap. Ishii does. Keto in tow, then Pulsatrix in tow. Pulsatrix also 1 lap down, trying to get back on the lap. Keto is trying to get to 1 lap down. And just now, will Valerie Fang be able to reset and get back to the inside lane? Of course, looking at still 1 more pit stop to go in this race. Valerie Fang has been caught up by Maria Chavez. So Chavez now looking for the race lead back. Maria D'Amata not far behind. Neither is Isabel Espinoza or Luisa Flores. The top 5 on the lead lap, not far away. Here goes Chavez. And again, we're looking at this. We've had 12 races with 12 different race winners. We're looking at potentially 13. D'Amata's not won a race this season. Fang and Chavez are looking for their first champ car wins, period. Three of the top 5 winless still in 2025. Sorry, 2024. No, 4 for the top 5, because D'Amata, Flores has only got a pole position. Fang and Chavez have not won a race either. So, yeah, Isabel Espinoza is the only driver with the race win in the top 5. So that was actually correct. Unfortunately, Chavez beginning to drop backwards a little bit more. Tried getting around Valerie Fang. It did not quite pan out. Fang made sure of that. For Valerie Fang, this would be a lot more base sentimental, trying to get a race win. This has been a season to forget. If you are the 54 camp, 26th in points entering today. Now, granted, this result will likely shoot the 54 camp all the way up as high as potentially 15th place. Because the field is just that close. But to be able to say that this is the start of a trend and not an anomaly would be a little bit premature. Chavez has gotten right back to the gearbox, the 54. Really just trying to chase down Fang and take back that race lead, but they're all so tightly bunched together. It makes it so much more difficult. Whoa, trouble, car. Car really stuck here. That is Jace Clark. Whoa, trouble. Car in the wall. I believe that was Sonia Walker, it was. And caution has come out. They're going to catch up, Valerie Fang. So Sonia Walker in some immediate trouble here. And it's not pretty. What happened here? It looks like it was an issue with Jace Clark that checked the field up. It was. Oh, and that is a huge gaggle of cars. Oh no, that's Chavez too. Oh no. Walker just kind of got tagged there by Polstrix, it looks like. He was trying to find a way out of that. And that is Maria Chavez from second place while battling for the race lead, taken out. That's devastating. That is absolutely devastating. And insult to injury, Luisa Flores, penalty for passing under caution when entering pit lane, which is a stop and go penalty under green. Several really good cars got involved in that. Chavez officially out after running in the front of the field most of this race and capitalizing on strategy calls. Will get nothing better than 22nd. Jace Clark out of this race for an engine failure. That's why he came to a slowdown trying to get to pit lane. Valerie Fang, Maria D'Amata, Luisa Flores, Isabel Espinoza, Yuya Ishii, Bianca Lucero, Rika Venalainen, all on the lead lap. That's 7 cars now on the lead lap, and they will be now bundled more tightly together. So what Maria Chavez was hoping to gain has been undone. And the only solace is that she's still going to gain some points on the 66 and the 50. Well, not so much 50 anymore. But she was going to gain on the 66. She's going to gain on the 55. The person that bails out the most is Rachel Koivanemi, who now moves up to 19th with a ceiling now that includes up to 14th place. So Koivuniemen can really skate by on this one in what has been a very less than satisfactory race for the Finnish driver leading the points championship. The question now is for Valerie Fang, Maria D'Amata, Luisa Floros, Isabella Espinosa, Yuya Ishii, Bianca Lucero, Riikka Venäläinen. How hard do you fight it in these upcoming laps? Less than 100 laps to go, less than 80 laps to go. With Floros, there's a penalty coming. Passing under caution when approaching pit lane. So that 75 will lose a lap quickly, if not two. Fourth caution of the race, and its biggest victim was Maria Chavez. Getting back to green here, it is Valerie Fang leading the field to green, just ahead of D'Amata and Floros and Espinosa. And again, the 75 will have to come down pit lane to serve a penalty. So D'Amata right on the heels of Valerie Fang. Lap down, there goes Floros. That was in the foreground. As D'Amata goes to the front of the field for the first time today, Fang led 98 laps. Comes to a pause there. But here we go again. Now the lead's going to change hands multiple times. And keep an eye on Espinosa. Not far away. Venäläinen stuck with some lap traffic, and there is Bianca Lucero, teammates there, the 87 and the 88. Just kind of watching as they try to card the way up through the field here. This is the battle for the race lead. This is Espinosa. That was on the outside lane there. Trying to get around Valerie Fang. It did not work. Espinosa, though, up to second. Trying to be the first repeat winner in the Challenger Series season. And that would be a big boost for the 26 car, who right now sits 7th in points. But entered this race just 4 points out of the promotion zone that ironically her teammate Maria Chavez was in. Beginning to waltz away here just a little bit. Venäläinen going to try to give chase. Here comes Lucero as well. But this is where the lap traffic begins to help out Valerie Fang just a little bit. There is Amity Polsatrix, who is still wounded. Could hold up Fang just a little bit. Make that not at all. Fang going to breeze on by. But here comes Venäläinen looking for race win number 2. It's been feast or famine for the 87 team. 27th in points, right in there, the same boat as Valerie Fang, but with that race win in Phoenix as well. Venäläinen trying to do the same thing as she did in Phoenix, and that is reel in the race leader and storm to another race win. This is so interesting, just watching this all develop. Karina Sakurauchi, the 12. First car a lap down. Packed crowd here in Colorado. I've seen a little bit of everything tonight. Sakurauchi looking for the lead lap back. Same with Roberto Crown Jr. trying to get to one lap down. A lot to fight for in case this does pop off for a fourth caution. Felicia Zappa also 2 laps down. Again, not doing anything in terms of affecting Venäläinen's position, but in terms of real estate on track, it's been a bit of a fiasco here. And the 87 and 50 will fight again, with the 87 getting back in front of the 50 of Zappa. And now Venäläinen can very firmly see the 54 front and center. And Venäläinen takes over the lead, just like that. And Venäläinen not going to stop there, looking to the inside of Sakurauchi to try to put Sakurauchi a lap down again. And will do so. .50 laps to go here in the Budweiser 225. More lap cars coming up. I believe that was Sonia Walker and Amity Polstrix. It was. And they're going to come up 2 wide, almost 3 wide. They will be 3 wide for a second. Venäläinen had to check out of that and get right back to the bottom of the racetrack, and that's exactly how she did it. But here comes Espinoza. Now everyone trying to get around Polstrix here. It's going to be tight. And this is where it gets bad, because now you've got cars stuck in traffic here, trying to make ends meet. Polstrix doing everything she could, just kind of keep that car stable. A lot of cars in this mix right now. Line, I believe, getting closer to the top three. In fourth right now. Here's D'Amata challenging Isabel Espinoza. And successfully gets around Valerie Fang. D'Amata to the front now, once again. And defended that inside lane a little bit through 1 and 2. Tried her best to defend it, but here comes Fang and here comes Ishii. Ishii trying to get a lap back here. No, sorry, this is Ishii battle for the race lead. Ishii got a lap back on that last caution. My mistake. This is Ishii battling for a chance at a race win again. Won an accident-filled race at Sonoma. Trying to win, obviously, a cleaner race here in Colorado. We're down to 21 cars running. But we've had a lot of attrition in this race instead of it being just pure accidents. Ishii to the inside of Fang. Sonoma, it didn't feel earned for Ishii. It was just a matter of being there when the right caution came out to end the race. This one you have to earn a little bit. Again, keep an eye on the 87 of Venalainen. Charging forward again. Venalainen closing in. Ishii on the outside lane. This is going to be the right opportunity. But here comes Vitsut just to interrupt it. Vitsut 3 laps down too. And here comes Felicia Zappa, another car that's not on lead lap, 2 laps down. Here we go for the race lead now. Ishii was just pinned a little bit longer than Venalainen was. Now, can Ishii defend, or is Venalainen going to be immediately back under attack? Looks like Venalainen will have to try to worry about that counterattack by Ishii and by Valerie Fang. Coming to 30 laps to go here in the Budweiser 225. And here we go. Ishii back to the front. Most laps led, undeniably, Valerie Fang, 127 out of 330 laps led as things stand right now. Bolstrix holding up some of the lap traffic, allows the leaders to battle on through once again. And around, once again, goes Venalainen as they trade the lead back and forth. Ishii's led 7 laps, Venalainen's led 22. Ain't that 23 now for Venalainen, following her season-long rival in Felicia Zappa. And trying to put Zappa back 2 laps down. Koivuniemen up to 17th place. Obviously not as concerned anymore about holding on to the championship lead. With Chavez out of the race. But still, every point you can get, every position you can get counts. And here comes, I believe that's Amara up ahead, just up the road. It is. The Face Poirier car about to go a second lap down, unfortunately, after being damaged in that last caution. 25 laps to go. Venalainen in line. They try to make some magic happen. Amara stays up top, gave up the bottom lane, did the right decision there for Venalainen to try to get on through without being completely impeded, and it worked. Unfortunately, it also worked for Vitsut, who's 3 laps down, so that wasn't a pass for position. But it is a battle for position between the 30 and the 35. Sorry, no, it is not, because Milinkovic is 5 laps down after being pinned in pit lane for a second time under caution. Keep in mind, the 12 of Sakurauchi was trying to get back on the lead lap here in case the late caution does come out. That puts Sakurauchi in the same boat as everybody else. However, that will not be the case, as Venäläinen was able to recover. There's 2 cars in buffer. That's both the Verizon Team Impulse cars of Kito and Sakurauchi. Venäläinen now north of 30 laps led in this race. And Valerie Fang is trying as much as she can to get back to the front of the field and prevent Venäläinen a second career Champ Car win. Remember, Venäläinen, the Hong Kong driver, has yet to win a race in Champ Car competition in either the World Series or the Challenger Series level. This is an opportunity to break that streak and to finally be a race winner. Venäläinen almost turned Vitsut out of turn 4, trying to find a way around. You can tell Venäläinen's getting frustrated by the lap traffic. But so is Ishii, so is Fang in that range too, because they're both stuck on the outside lane too. They can't go forward. There's more cars being put between them and Venäläinen as these laps tick away. We're coming to 16 laps to go. And right now the biggest chance to move forward is in the hands of Ishii and Espinoza. Machero's not really close, and neither is D'Amata. Ishii up to second. Front of the field, Venäläinen ahead of Vitsut. Vitsut being 3 laps down. $14 to go. This is where if Vitsut's going to go, she's got to go now before Venäläinen gets pinned on the outside and has to deal with the 30 of Milinkovic. And unfortunately for Vitsut, she's playing the very difficult game. Venäläinen slides on in, gets to the bottom of the racetrack, and avoids being stuck behind the 71 of Pulsatrix there. And I said that the 35 and the 30 were not battling. They are 3 laps down. Pulsatrix was the one that was 5 laps down, and now that is now 6 laps down for Pulsatrix. So they were battling for position there. That was for 19th. Ten laps to go. And Venäläinen seems to be a lot more comfortable now. But we've seen a lot happen in 10 laps here tonight. Venäläinen clear of Vitsut. And Vitsut didn't have a chance to get off the corner very well. Venäläinen is beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And again, what a race it's been here at Colorado. First time Champ Cars raced here at this basically it's a bull ring for these cars. And once again, Venäläinen in these types of situations, as it was with Phoenix, Venäläinen once again, lightning in a bottle. Coming to 6 laps to go. Everyone else really just diving and mixing it up and chopping it up for second place as things sit. It's a full second gap all the way back to Isabel Espinoza in second right now. Vitsut's going to go and try to get one of those laps back. But it's not really going to mean a whole lot right now. Not going to gain a position as things sit. Five to go. There's Keisha Fox up in the top 10. Now the first car a lap down, trying to stay ahead of the 12. Almost got pinned behind the 10. That would have been a very interesting fight. And Sakurachi still fighting to try to get that position. May have a chance here in the 1. No, not this time. Drives really deep in the 1 and 2, though. Not going to be denied that one. This is a battle for 7th place. And they're ahead of 2nd place, Isabel Espinosa, who is watching the lead just slip away. 2 to go. But if there's a chance, it's right here. Coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go, presented by PNC Bank. Is it Venäläinen or is it going to be potentially Espinosa? There she is. Oh, this is going to be close. Going to be very close, a lot closer than we anticipated. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. We've got a repeat winner. It's Rika Venäläinen. Venäläinen wins in Colorado. She wins the Budweiser 225. It is Espinosa in 2nd, and Valerie Fang rounds out the podium ahead of Yuya Ishii, who were side by side at the line. There's your points leader. Still, Rachel Koivu up to 16th place by the time the race came to an end. But the points margin couldn't have shrunk much more. Rika Venäläinen, your race winner here in Colorado. What was all scrolling at the top of your screen? Venäläinen over Espinosa. Then it's Ishii, Valerie Fang, and Maria D'Amata, your top 5. Bianca Lucero ended up once again top 10, 6th place for the 88 crew. And Obsidian Racing Team now look like they're on fire with 2 cars in the Challenger Series. Karina Sakurachi and Keisha Fox, the first 2 cars a lap down, 7th and 8th. Nara Takarasi and Katrina Ochoa round out your top 10. Luisa Floros and Felicia Zappa, 11th and 12th, are ahead of Roberto Crown Jr., who was the first car 2 laps down. Asada Kito and Jake Carter, your top 15, ahead of Rachel Koivu and Karina Amara. Sonia Walker, Mia Vitsut, got Katerina Malinkovic and Amity Polstrix, your finishers in this race. A hefty DNF list spearheaded by Maria Chavez, Jace Clark, Isabel Lantra, Sora Hoshino, Arashi Seto, Rex Riley, Aspasia Megalos, Seth Smith Jr., Natalia Kurachenko, Kira Moore, Del Blanco, and Yumina Mizuno. A wild race here in Colorado. Once again, just absolutely outstanding. A phenomenal race, a very fast and rapid-paced event. And we get to do it again in the 7/8 mile Iowa Speedway for a doubleheader next weekend, Friday and Saturday night, right here on ABN. Join us tomorrow for the Grand Prix of Monaco. Stephanie Porter-Kelly will lead the field of green alongside Siri Lundquist. It's Champ Car's turn to take on the circuit de Monte Carlo. The streets of Monte Carlo will come alive tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Time here on ABN. You're not going to want to miss it. But for everyone here from the Firestone Champ Car Challenger Series and everyone here at Colorado Motor Speedway, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you around the bend very soon. It's Iowa next weekend. Let's go to corn country.